In this video, we will be testing a fire pump using the flow meter loop, which we can use 2 out of 3 years for our fire pump inspections if it's available. Now, we'll also be going over eliminating the 50% test as a simple click of the button to get rid of that test if you're not using a 50% test, and it will not show on your graph or on your report. Let's start off by going into our question bubble there with 115 of 187 questions. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to scroll down to my annual tests, annual flow test. And I'm going to go into my 50% results because that's where my flow test is going to be. And you'll see that I have performed a 50% inspection. And now I chose what is the GPM flow meter loop only, otherwise answer is NA. I put 625 gallons per minute because that's half of my 1250, and that's what I'm getting on my flow meter loop. I also have to go down to the hoses here in case I've tested this prior to this. I'm going to put not applicable for those hoses that I didn't use, that I may have used last year during my actual flow test. Okay, to make sure those are not applicable. I'm going to go back to this, go back again. Let's go to my 100%. My flow meter said I was getting 1250 gallons per minute. I'm going to put my 1250 under my flow meter loop only, go down to my hoses, and basically turn off those not applicables, put those on, go back again to my 150% and go down to my 1875 gallons per minute I'm getting. It's a great pump, it's working fine. I'm going to go to my hoses, and again, not applicable for all the hoses and all the other things I might have put in there. Not applicable. Okay, so I'm going to go back now. Let's take a look at our report and see what that did to our report. I'm going to go top left menu, go into report, preview our report, and we're going to scroll down to our actual annual test results. And there we have we got our discharge pressure and suctions. That's all going to be the same. Now we're using a flow meter. There's our streams. We have 0 streams because we're using a flow meter. There's our GPMs at 50, 100, and 150. And you'll see down here under flow information, flow meter used to perform this inspection. And that's basically it. We'll scroll down to look at our graph, and that's what our graph looks like using a flow meter. Exactly the same as the other graph, except it's got the gallons per minute that we put in manually without the hoses. Now, if we want to get rid of that 50% test, let's go back to our devices, right? Go into our inspection, and this is as simple as going into your annual flow test, 50% results, and put down has a 50% flow test been performed. Select no. Now let's go back and look at our report. Our report, preview. We're going to scroll down, and you'll see now that we have a 100% test and a 150% test. And the very first one, of course, is our churn, which is there's no flow for that. Then we go down to here, everything passed, everything's within specs. Again, flow meter loop or flow meter was used to perform this inspection. And let's go down to our graph, and you'll see we only have 2 points now in our net pressures. We have our 50%, we have our 100% at 1225 gallons per minute, or 1250 gallons per minute, and then there's our 100% or 150% at 1875 gallons per minute. And that is it for this video as far as testing with a flow meter loop and not having a 50% test.